From the moment that you enter the dashboard on Midjourney AI, you can already see some of the crazy things that people are creating. This dinosaur with sunglasses, this trippy looking cat, an espresso martini ad. Midjourney AI is one of the most technically impressive generative AI programs out there. And honestly, many people don't know how to use it and take advantage of its full capabilities. So from the moment I type in a prompt like the sun attacking Earth during New Year's Eve, and just by hitting submit there, it's already going to go to work for us. Just from the explore page here for the top things that have been created today, we can see some of the really interesting pictures that have been created. Look at that cat. If you didn't know any better, you would think that that wasn't an AI image. That was just a really adorable looking cat. But all the images here that you're seeing are all created by Midjourney. Now, before we get too far into the video here showing you exactly how to use Midjourney AI and get the best results for yourself, I do want to give a quick shout out to our AI newsletter, Neural Frontier. It's an AI newsletter that we publish weekly here, and we have all the tools, tricks, latest updates, everything that you need to know if you're interested in this sort of AI tech stuff. And if you're interested in that, I'll leave a link to it down in the description below. Coming back to Midjourney here though, if we hover over the Create tab, we can see that image that was just created for us, the sun attacking the Earth during New Year's Eve. And if we hit on this, we can actually see what that looks like, which is pretty trippy. We can use the arrow keys to actually just navigate through this, and ooh, this looks like a scene straight out of Don't Look Up. Definitely just some cool pictures of the sun. Now, these images are pretty stellar, pun intended. But if we wanted to make some adjustments to them, maybe subtle adjustments or not so subtle adjustments, we could actually go to the Creation Action tool here and see things like variation, upscaling, more, use. We could say we want it to be more subtle, strong, upscaling should be subtle or more creative, more, run the same prompt again, or edit specific parts of the image, etc. We have the ability to make changes to this. So let's pick one here like this, and we could say add aliens to this, or we could say make it more strong. We also have a tool here that says more options, and we can select things like remixing, panning, zooming, tons of different things. So let's make this image more subtle here. So if I click that button here, it's going to say make that image more subtle. And if we go back over to the Create tab here, we can see that we have a more subtle variation on this. It looks a little bit more subtle, but overall the image is pretty much the same. If I went to this image, for instance, and hit Upscale Creative, and I wanted it to be more creative. Now, as we can see here by navigating back to the Create tab, we can see that it's already starting to create that upscaled creative image of the sun attacking the Earth during New Year's Eve, taking that original photo as reference. As we can see here, by simply hitting the Upscale Creative and giving it the same prompt and giving it about less than 30 seconds, we have an upscaled and more creative version of what we had before. We can see that our original image here is a little bit more detailed. Things are a lot straighter, the lines are a lot more jagged. But if we go back into this section here, we can see that things are much softer. You can really see the design in the sun, and if we zoom in here, we can see just how gorgeous the AI image looks. It really looks like it could have been done on water paint, for that matter. Now, the ability to create these images is something that Midjourney AI does so well, and the ability to make the changes to them to actually get the results you want is something that's incredibly cool. So let's say I want to actually do something with this image now. Let's say download it, like it, save it to my favorites, or add it to a new collection. We can do that just from the side here. We can see we've got our filters, things like copying, reporting, downloading, hiding, or even opening it directly in Discord. We can simply hit this download button here to download it, hit the search bar to actually go through and search all of the other images that are written very similarly to this. And as we can see here, I'm not the only one who's had images of the sun on their mind in their prompts. So we can see here from the Explore tab again, wow, look at that. A painting of a space warship passing before a floating shipyard in the upper atmosphere of a gas giant, lit by a deep red sun in the style of Turner's The Fighting to Mary. Wow, like how gorgeous of an image is that? And somebody made that. If I wanted to go and actually hit the like button here and save it, I can actually hit that like button. But that's just a basic prompt for Midjourney. Let's make things a little bit more in depth. So let's say I put the same prompt that we had earlier. I'll just take that here, the sun attacking the Earth during New Year's Eve. But I actually go to the Filter tab here, and we can see the image size, whether we want it to be portrait, square, landscape, and some way in between. In my case, I'm just going to hit square here. We can see that the mode and model we want to have, either standard or raw, and the actual version of Midjourney we want to use. We have the personalization option here. We can turn on or off. And the personalization tab just basically means that you can use the personalization parameter to generate images that match your preferences. So say, for example, you're someone who likes a very particular art style and you want Midjourney to automatically apply that art style to whatever images you create. Well, You can use that with the personalization option being turned on and having your personalization preferences, which I'll show a bit later, actually set up and automatically put in for you. For the aesthetics here, we can put stylization, which basically means how strongly the Midjourney aesthetic is applied. Low stylization values produces images that closely match the prompt but are less artistic. High stylization creates very artistic but less connected to the prompt. So in this case, right now it's set at 100. Let's go for something that is pretty much spot on with the prompt. Remember in that last prompt that we didn't actually have anything for New Year's Eve on there. So if I turn stylization all the way down to 0, and we'll say weirdness, we'll bring that up to 600, and variety, we'll turn that up to 20. And if there's any more options here, we can put that on. And we got the speed, of course, being fast or turbo. I think that's good. I think if we put this into Midjourney and hit the enter key again, we're gonna get something that's a little bit different than what we saw earlier. Oh, it just actually gave me an error here because I turned personalization on and it went, well, you haven't put any personalization options in. So be wary of that. I'll just turn that off here again. Okay, with all those options put in place, I'm gonna hit enter here and it's gonna automatically start creating that for us. Now let's take a look at what our image actually looks like. If we head over to the create tab here, we have, ooh, very, very different. Very, very different than what we got last time. It's, oh, actually attacking the earth. We put the earth in here. This looks like an illustration that you would typically find in a Ray Bradbury book. And we have different images that are all stylistically different. Now it's important to know when looking at images like this, what prompt variations make things so different. Because if we head back to our create tab here, we can see that these 4 images using the exact same prompt were all pretty much the same. But for this one, we had radically different images. And why was that? Well, if you recall, if we go back to the aesthetics tab here, we turned weirdness up to 600 and variety up to 20. And that basically means that the more you move those sliders to the right, the more variety, the more weird things would actually get. If I just used the exact same prompt again and I turned everything down to 0 and I just said, yep, stylization 0, weirdness 0, variety 0. I just want it to be as simple as physically possible, and I submitted that. You would see that the images are all going to look very much the same and follow the prompt to the T. It's not going to do anything extra or creative. And there we go. Again, sticking very much to the letter of the sun attacking the earth. The sun attacking the earth. The sun attacking the earth. This one actually looks the most attacking. And then for this one, I just did a picture of the sun. So the earth's there, you just can't see it because it's so small. But that's enough about the prompting. We can actually go here to the Organize tab and we can see all of the images that we've created today. So in this case, I can click through each individual image. I can even highlight multiple images. Say I want to download a batch of them, or I want to select individual images. You also can filter them based on the ones that you've liked, that are unrated, hidden, based on the type there is, the image size, what version of Midjourney you generated it using, and whether it's tiled or raw. We can also put it in folders. If we want to create a folder here and put all of our folders, we'll say sun images. And we can say smart folder, basically meaning that if we have any images that automatically match the search terms, put them in there. And in this case, we won't do that. We're going to say sun images. And so now we're going to take all of our images here again, just by left clicking and dragging. And we're going to say, yep, these are all going to go, if we put more, add to folder, sun images. So now if I click on the sun images folder, I'm always going to find that my images are here, even though I might create a whole bunch more images later down the line. But there's also that personalized tab we talked about. If you click on it, we can see that we can teach Midjourney about what we find beautiful. And if we hit start teaching, it'll automatically start to learn about what our preferences are. What sort of things do we like in the images? How can it best adapt those images to be what we want? How can the output that it generates be what we want? There's also a couple other fun features here, like the chat function, where you can actually go through, and if you know the password, you can type things in the general chaos, prompt craft, or daily theme. In this case, I'm not going to give away the password, but if you know a password for a particular chat room, I'll let you join that one. We also have tasks here. Image rankings help make Midjourney better by ranking images, and it's pretty much a fun way that you can contribute to Midjourney by ranking what images you like, whether you think something is more aesthetically pleasing or not, rank the aesthetics, prompt accuracy, etc., all that stuff. And for those of you wondering, yes, Midjourney does come with a dark mode. So you're welcome. Now the stuff that Midjourney can create is pretty spectacular. All these images here just absolutely blow me away. And although an image like this would be easy to tell as AI generated, maybe an image like this wouldn't be. Maybe an image like this wouldn't be. But all the things that are... There are so many practical applications for what you can actually use Midjourney for. Logo generation, which maybe we'll do in a future video, artistic styling, making some brand images, etc. All those things that you would typically expect to see, or a bunch of animals in a yellow van, because it's a fun picture. I highly encourage you to drop into Midjourney and try out all the filters. Try cranking stylization to the max and weirdness to 0. Try cranking all of them to the max and just see what you get. There is so much in the possibility of what you can create using Midjourney that having this tool be known by everyone is something that I like to see. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this Midjourney AI tutorial. And as always, my name is Josh Mountain, and I'll see you in the next one.